नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया। भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 12, Text number 7. Tasmat prasushruta tasya tasmat prasushrutastasya sandhihi tasya api amarshanaha sandhistasyapyamarshanaha. Mahasvan tat sutaha tasmat mahasvamstat sutastasmat vishvabahu ajayata vishvabahurajayata tasmat prasushrutastasya sandhistasyapyamarshanaha mahasvamstatssutastasmat vishvabahur ajayata tasmat prasushrutastasya sandhistasyapyamarshanaha mahasvamstatssutastasmat vishvabahur ajayata. Tasmat from Maru. Prasushruta his son. Tasya of Prasushruta. Sandhihi a son named Sandhi. Tasya his Sandhis. Api also. Amarshanaha a son named Amarshana. Mahasvan the son of Amarshana. Tat his. Sutaha son. Tasmat from him. Mahasvan Vishvabahu Ajayata took birth. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Bhajaranaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. From Maru was born a son named Prasushruta. From Prasushruta came Sandhi. From Sandhi came Amarshana. And from Amarshana a son named Mahasvan. From Mahasvan Vishvabahu took his birth. Can kindly repeat the translation. From Maru was born a son named Prasushruta. From Prasushruta came Sandhi. From Sandhi came Amarshana. And from Amarshana a son named Mahasvan. From Mahasvan Vishvabahu took his birth. There are no purports to the series of verses coming up till the end of this chapter. So I'll just read the verses and translation myself till the end of this chapter. That is till text 16, up to text 16, which will end this chapter. It's text number 8 onwards. ततः प्रसेनचित् तस्मात् तक्षको भविता पुनः ततो बृहद्बलो यस्तु पित्रा ते समरे हतः. From Vishwabahu came a son named Prasenajit. From Prasenajit came Takshaka, and from Takshaka came Brihadbala, who was killed in a fight by your father. Ete Hikshvaku Bhupala Atita Shinvanagatan Brihadbalasya Bhavita Putro Namna Brihadranaha. All these kings in the dynasty of Ikshvaku have passed away. Now please listen as I describe the kings who will be born in the future. From Brihadbala will come Brihadrana. Text. Purukriya sutastasya vatsavriddho bhavishyati prativyomastato bhanur divako vahini patihi. Translation. The son of Brihadrana will be Purukriya, who will have a son named Vatsavriddha. Vatsavriddha will have a son named Prativyoma, and Prativyoma will have a son named Bhanu, and from Divaka, from whom Divaka, a great commander of soldiers, will take birth. Text 11. Sahadevastato viro brihadashvotha bhanuman pratikashvo bhanumataha supratikotha tatsutaha. Thereafter from Divaka will come a son named Sahadeva, and from Sahadeva a great hero named Brihadashva. From Brihadashva will come Bhanuman, and from Bhanuman will come Pratikashva. The son of Pratikashva will be Supratika. Text 12. Pavita Marudevotha Sunakshatrota Pushkaraha Tasyantarikshas Tatputraha Sutapastad Amitrajit. Thereafter from Supratika will come Marudeva. From Marudeva, Sunakshatra, and from Sunakshatra, Pushkara, and from Pushkara, Antariksha. The son of Antariksha will be Sutapa, and his son will be Amitrajit. Text 30. Brihatrajastu tasyapi barhis tasmat kritanjayaha rananjayas tasya sutaha sanjayo bhavita tataha. From Amitrajit will come a son named Brihadraja. From Brihadraja will come Barhi, and from Barhi will come Kritanjaya. The son of Kritanjaya will be known as Rananjaya, and from him will come a son named Sanjaya. Text 14. Tasma chakyota shuddhodo langalas tatsutasmritaha tata prasenachit tasmat shudrako bhavita tataha. From Sanjaya will come Shakya, from Shakya will come Shuddhoda, and from Shuddhoda will come Langala, from Langala will come Prasenajit, and from Prasenajit Shudraka. Text 15. Ranuko bhavita tasmat suratas tanayas tataha sumitro nama nishtanta ete parhat balan vayaha. From Shudraka will come Ranaka, from Ranaka will come Suratha, and from Suratha will come Sumitra, ending the dynasty. This is a description of the dynasty of Brihadbala. Text 16. Ikshvakunam ayam vamsha sumitranto bhavishyati yatastam prapya rajanam samstham prapsyati Vaikalau. Translation. The last king in the dynasty of Ikshvaku will be Sumitra. After Sumitra, there will be no more sons in the dynasty of the sun god, and thus the dynasty will end. Thus end Brihadbala. Text 17. Tat Sumitra 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 the Bhaktivedanta purports of the ninth canto, 12th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled The Dynasty of Kusha, the son of Lord Ramachandra. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So these series of verses completes the glorious dynasty of Ikshvaku Maharaj from the Surya Vamsha, in which Lord Ramachandra made his appearance, thereby making the Surya Vamsha glorious. Actually, it is described that in this world, generally the ruling will always be from the Surya Vamsha or the Chandra Vamsha. Always. So by themselves, they both are very, very glorious. All the kings in the dynasty of Surya Vamsha and Chandra Vamsha are always glorious. The Lord makes the dynasty even more glorious by his divine appearance. In Surya Vamsha, Lord Rama appeared. Chandra Vamsha, Lord Krishna appeared. The kings are glorious because they were all, whichever Vamsha they belong to, they were all devoted to the Lord, either Rama or Krishna. So that is the specific qualification of the kings of Surya Vamsha and Chandra Vamsha. Therefore, they were glorious. So Ikshvaku Maharaj is the first king in the human society. As we see in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 4th chapter, this is being described, the beginning verses. Prabhupada always used to give lectures on these verses. The 4th chapter, first verse begins in this way. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Ahamam Vyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manur Ikshvakave Aprabit. Prabhupada's translation. The Blessed Lord said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivasvan, Surya Vamsha, beginning. And Vivasvan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind. And Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. See, it's mentioned Manu is the father of mankind, and Manu instructed to his son Ikshvaku. So, up to Manu, it was Devaloka. So, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita was spread from the beginning of Ikshvaku Maharaj. He was the king of the earth planet. So here we are discussing the dynasty of Ikshvaku Maharaj, who belonged to Surya Vamsha in this chapter. That is the connection, for us to get a connection. So, now what does this list of kings indicate? From a practical point of view, these list of kings, detailed list of kings, indicate the authenticity of the description. Nobody can concoct from their heads something which doesn't exist. He is so and so son, he is so and so son, he is so and so son, he is so and so son. That too, the description begins from Treta Yuga up to the end of Kali Yuga. Somebody with a sane person, a person with reasoning, good amount of reasoning, will appreciate, oh, this much detailed work is being done. How all these things can be false? This logic Prabhupada explains in Chaitanya Charitamrita. If you see in Chaitanya Charitamrita, if you read, it's very interesting. I wondered personally, actually. If you see Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's a list of lot of devotees and their pastimes with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Prabhupada, taking reference from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he used to give details of many devotees' birthplace, village name, and how to go to that village, go to that devotee's house, take a train, take a bus, take a rickshaw, take a left, take a right, all the detail you will see. Many devotees' descriptions, their house details are given. Railway station. In fact, Prabhupada goes to explain broad gauge, meter gauge, all these details. He'll explain there. I wondered why Prabhupada is giving such detailed description. And then after getting down from the train, you have to walk, go to this village. This village will come. After that, the next village will come. After that, then this village will come. In this village, this devotee lives. I wondered why Prabhupada is going to such details. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, we thought we'll be discussing philosophy, Chaitanya's pastimes, instructions. He's getting into bus detail, train detail, village detail. You should go by walking. You know what? Let's take today's example. Suppose you want to go to Bangalore. Somebody who has no idea about Bangalore, okay? So you start from Mysore, a person in Mysore. Like myself, typically when I came 2-3 months back, I was new to Mysore. There are many routes wherein you can reach Bangalore. So one route is from here you go to Maddur, then you go to Mandya, then you go to Ramnagara, Chennapatna, then you go to Bangalore. Or maybe Chennapatna, Ramnagara and Bangalore. Then I can give further details from Mysore to Maddur also, and from Maddur to Mandi also I can give further descriptions. All these things only indicate for a person who has no idea that these are all factual. And my description, detailed description will only authenticate what I am saying. That Bangalore exists, and the fact that Bangalore exists is also tested by the milestones which I give. This place will come, this place will come, this place will come. And you can also be sure that you're reaching Bangalore as the milestones are reached. You got into Maddur, fine. Okay, you are right on the track towards Bangalore. Then Mandya came, then Ramnagara came, Chennapatna came. Become more convinced, okay, I'm reaching Bangalore. So like that we can actually see the description of the details in Chaitanya Charitamrita or in Bhagavatam here, the different kinds of kings, only will validate the existence of all these kings. In fact, in modern history, modern historians also quote all these kings' names. You can refer any modern standard text of the kings in Surya Vamsha. Not only Bhagavatam, they'll all corroborate what Shukadeva Goswami is explained. I referred also to cross-check, because I don't have to cross-check. We have faith, but then for people for whom Ramayana Mahabharata is just an epic and not a reality, they can cross-check with the modern historians and history books whether these kings' names are there. They're all there. They're all present. So this will lead to one more important point. What is that? The existence of all these kings, if you accept, because the modern historians accept. That means, if you have accepted the existence of these kings, you know what it means? By default, you are accepting the existence of Lord Rama, because they are descendants of Lord Rama. But although conveniently people, they reject Rama, taking him as a historical person or a mythological person, not historical, sorry, mythological person. See this contradiction. Rama, they're rejecting existence of Rama, but the kings in the dynasty of Rama you're accepting. History accepts. So is it not straight prejudice? Outright prejudice? Is it not uh, a clear uh, ulterior motive why they are rejecting Rama while accepting all the kings of the dynasty of Lord Rama? Everybody is true, but only Rama is mythology. How it is possible? You accept my father, my grandfather, my great grandfather, but then you don't accept my ancestor before that. How is it possible? The existence of son indicates the existence of father. So the existence of the present kings indicate the existence of Lord Ramchandra. This will lead to one more important conclusion and acceptance, scientifically, logically. What? That means the existence of Treta Yuga also becomes a reality. That means this will lead to another reality wherein human beings existed even millions of years ago in Treta Yuga. Because according to the modern anthropologists, advanced human being or intelligent human being came about only 5 to 10,000 years before from today's date. That is their understanding. But if the modern historians also agree the existence of the kings from Lord Rama, it dates back up to Treta Yuga. So you are accepting Treta Yuga. That means you will be forced to accept logically that advanced human beings and even advanced civilization existed even millions of years back. Because as per them, modern civilization is the only advanced civilization. Earlier to that was only monkeys, apes, chimpanzees. That is Darwin's theory. According to Darwin, mankind's forefather was monkey. But here we see Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita 4th chapter 1st verse, the origin of mankind was Manu. So you can either accept the authority of Lord Krishna or the authority of Darwin. The choice is yours. So Prabhupada says, at least our forefathers are not monkeys. Probably Darwin's forefathers might have been monkeys. Now again logically it is wrong, because if your forefather is monkey, you should have been a monkey. How you are a human being? Because in history till now we have not seen anywhere a monkey giving birth to a human child. Even science has not come about with any such offer, an explanation, and existence. Even modern science does not bring up that point, that from proving that from monkey human beings are coming. It's a very important conclusion. A monkey does not give birth to a human being. Human being gives birth to a human being. So Darwin has made a big mistake. Actually, it's explained. Darwin studied the science of evolution from the Vedas. He studied our Vedic texts, but he didn't do a thorough, proper study. So he picked up some bits and pieces here and there and added up his own theory to that. That's why he talks about evolution, but what it is he does not explain correctly. There are many flaws in Darwin's theory. According to him, as the species are evolving to more developed ones, the former species should become extinct according to his theory. See, this word theory has to be understood. Theory means it is only a proposal. In English or in science, theory means it's a proposal. It is not proved, not necessarily proven. Not necessarily proven. So most of the modern scientists' articles, explanations are only theories actually. This itself brings in a very big question, but nobody is asking that. You see, it's a very important point we should note. Okay. So according to Darwin, as these species are evolving, the earlier species become extinct. Extinct means they'll disappear. Why? He has no explanation. Why? He has no explanation. Anyway, even accepting that, the single-celled organism becomes the double-celled, triple-celled, then four-celled, five-celled, multi-celled. So human being is the most complex organism according to him, with highly evolved cell development according to Darwin. In that case, except human being today, according to Darwin, no other species should be existing. Neither cat, dog, lizard, nothing should be existing. Monkeys, especially monkeys, because Darwin's forefather had been from monkey. So especially monkey should not have been existing. But you see all over monkey, you just go out of Mysore. Not in Mysore also, you go to some little more away from the city, so many monkeys are there. Even in a city like Mysore, so many monkeys are there. Little outside Mysore, lot of monkeys are there. Everywhere in India, and probably outside also, monkeys are there. All the species are existing, except some few which have become extinct. That also we are not sure. Maybe in this planet they become extinct. Maybe in another planet they have taken their birth, or they made their habitation. We don't know. But at least what we know practically is, in our own earth, all the species are existing. Birds, bees, reptiles, aquatics, all are existing. So Lord Krishna is giving a reference of Ikshvaku Maharaj, and all this detailed list of kings are being explained here. So there's only only out of prejudice or out of some ulterior motive to avoid God conveniently, the atheistic scientists and anthropologists are trying to avoid Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, for purposes well known to them. And the same thing is true for the Moon dynasty from Lord Krishna. All these arguments will hold good even for the Moon dynasty and the existence of Lord Krishna. You can also see the existence of Ayodhya in Uttar Pradesh. You can also see the existence of Dwaraka in Gujarat. You can also see the existence of the ancient Dwaraka city which was drowned in the waters, sea waters, through satellite images. So all these things only prove the existence of Krishna and Rama. Okay. So there were about 50 to 55 kings from the Surya Vamsha in the Dwapara Yuga, whose names are being quoted here. In fact, in this 9th canto of Bhagavatam, at the end of this canto, just for your knowledge, you should actually refer this. See, Prabhupada has taken so much further. He has given genealogical table charts. Chart 1, it is the Sun dynasty from Amshuman up to Kushan. Chart 2, the Sun dynasty from Kusha up to Brihad Bala. Chart 3, these are the future kings who are going to take birth in Kali Yuga. Not even taken birth, going to take birth in Kali Yuga. That list is also there. And you will see each one of them coming true. If you see this is Surya Vamsha. If you see the 12th canto of Bhagavatam, the coming up of Chandragupta, King Ashoka, those names are all being spoken by Shukadeva Goswami even before they appeared. So these things further and further only reinstate, revalidate the texts and the content of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is very important to note. Shukadeva Goswami is not a storyteller or a fiction teller, as they call. He's not a fiction teller. He's giving the authentic details. Okay, you can refer this chart also later. So in the Dwapara, about 55 kings from the Surya dynasty were there, calculated up to the Mahabharata war. Okay, we would like to see some few kings and understand what is little about them, further to authenticate and validate about them. For example, Kusha, whose dynasty is being discussed here. He was the elder son of Lord Rama, and he founded Gujarat, which was known as Kushasthali in the Vindhya region in Treta Yuga. Kushasthali is today's Gujarat, Dwaraka. The geographical boundaries were quite different in those days than today's. That even today we see after the independence, the states were reorganized. Earlier there was Madras province, but now today that Madras province concept doesn't exist. Karnataka, Andhra were part of Madras. Even prior to that, Madras itself was a part of Andhra. So as the states divide and expand, the geographical boundaries keep changing. Like Prabhupada said, for example, this word Bharata Bhumi or Bharata Varsha refers to the entire Bhumandala. And today, because of political reasons, that Bharata Bhumi is now constricted to the present India as a country, as it is known today. Otherwise, India actually is known as Bharata Bhumi, which refers to the entire Bhumandala, earthly planet, consisting of 7 Dvipas, and 7 Dvipas and 9 Varshas, 7 islands and 9 mountains, separating the islands. When people of Ayodhya requested Kusha to become the king after his father's regime, he accepted. And he married Kumudavati, and he passed away while fighting with Asura Durjaya. You can refer all these things in history also, all these things will come to be true if you read the history books. Then Lava was another son of Lord Rama, although it's not been discussed here in Bhagavatam, by Shukadeva Goswami. He ruled the region of Uttar Pradesh. Sravasti, he ruled a particular portion in Uttar Pradesh called Sravasti in Uttar Pradesh. And Sravasti became the capital of economic and political activities in those days. And Lava became pleased with the truthfulness of one great king by name Abhirup. He was the son of the family priest of Kausambi. And when he was the son of a family priest, was not a king. So when Lava asked for a boon from the son of his family priest Abhirup, when Lava wanted to benedict Abhirup for his truthfulness, Abhirup said, I want to become the king of Kosala. So then Lava was already thinking of retiring from his kingdom and prepare himself to go back to Godhead. So he was very glad that somebody has come forward. He said, okay, you can become the king of Kosala. Then he said, really? It is so easy for you to give up your kingdom? Then something struck him. Oh my God. Lava told him Because Abhirupa asked Lava that how can you give up your kingdom just like that? Just because I asked you? Oh, after all, kingship is temporary. It's a matter of duty, I became the king. Nothing great. These are nothing of eternal value. The positions and designations, the lands which we rule, these are all very, very temporary in their existence, not very important to be pursued. By that one statement from Lava, it transformed Abhirup's mind. He also decided, I will also not take up this kingship. No, I don't want. So he didn't become the king. So these were the kings of those days who were completely detached, even though they were ruling and they were kings. Like even Yudhishthira Maharaj in the Moon Dynasty, you can see a description in Bhagavatam also. It is described by Shukadeva Goswami. Yudhishthira Maharaj ruled the kingdom of the earth only as a caretaker. He considered Krishna as the king, the proprietor, the ruler, and himself as the caretaker. This was the kind of mindset which the kings had. They were so detached, in contrast to modern day leaders, where they want to hold on to that position till death, until death separates them from their position. So, Kshemadhanva, one more king was being mentioned here. He knew the past, present, and future. Such kind of kings were ruling. You can just imagine, they're not ordinary mundane kings. And he attacked Videha. Videha is North Bihar as of today. Mithila was its capital, and Mithila is today's Muzaffarpur in today's terminology, nomenclature. And his prime minister of his time, instead of attacking Videha, he suggested, why don't you marry the daughter of Videha? And then he agreed, and then a compromise was brought about in that way. Devinaka, he took the side of Devatas, and then he fought on behalf of the Devas, and defeated the Asuras. Sudarshana, these are the kings who are all listed here. Sudarshana had two sons, Agni Giri and Agni Varna. Agni Varna became the king of Ayodhya after his father Sudarshana. And as far as Agni Giri is concerned, it's very interesting to note here. Agni Giri became the king of Jammu. That means the state called Jammu existed, and in that name, even during Treta Yuga, it was part of India. And the kings of Jammu were generally from the Surya Vamsha dynasty. So you can just imagine the authentication, validation of all these things. Brihat was the last descendant in the Kosala kingdom. He was the king of Ayodhya, and in Kurukshetra war, Prabhupada explains here, he was killed by Abhimanyu. On the 13th day of the war, there was a fierce battle between Abhimanyu and Brihatbala along with the other Maharathis. Brihatbala himself was a Maharathi. Maharathi means one who can fight with 1,000 charioteers at a time. Not one-on-one. Ekarathi, Maharathi, Ekarathi, Atirathi, Maharathi. There are different gradations. Just like today also we have soldier, we have commander, we have brigadier, we have major, major general. So they also have such hierarchy those days. So Ekarathi means one who can fight with one king at a time, one-on-one. Atirathi means one who can fight 1:100 kings at a time. Maharathi means 1:1,000 kings at a time. So Brihatbala was a Maharathi. But yet he was killed by Abhimanyu. So then here Prasenajit was described. Prasenajit was before Brihad Bala. There was one more Prasenajit after Brihad Bala. In Kali Yuga, that is different. This is Dwaparika Prasenajit. This Prasenajit is Nagnajit, whose daughter Lord Krishna married by name Satya. You can read 58th chapter from the Krishna book. Lord Krishna marrying 5 queens. Very interesting chapter. Wherein Krishna brought in control 7 ferocious bulls of the kingdom of Nagnajit. And Nagnajit didn't want to give his daughter just like that. Although Krishna said, even to me you would not want to give? No, my lord, very sorry, because that was my vow. Even before you came in picture. But I will be very happy to hand over my daughter to you. But still you should tame these bulls. Krishna understood, okay, he is not going to give me. And very, very easily Krishna tamed the bulls and then got the hand of Satya. So that story is recorded in the history, in Bhagavatam also. So like that. So basically, all these kings had glorious history. And therefore it is very, and they're all connected with Lord Rama. Therefore it is very purifying. It is as good as hearing Ramayana. See, I described so many details. Whether he conquered, he attacked Videha. Why are we discussing whether he attacked Videha or not? What is my problem? Whether he married some Kumadavati or some other Vati, what is my take? Because it is hearing these descriptions, just like the marriage between Kumadavati and Kshemadhanva, it's as sacred as hearing the marriage between Sita and Rama. They're all devotees of Lord Rama, sons of Lord Rama, descendants of Lord Rama. So that's how we understand Nirbandhe Krishna Sambandhe. So connection of Rama and Krishna is there, it is purified. So that's why it is recorded in Bhagavatam. So I'll stop here. Granthraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you.